Hi, I'm outside, walking with the trees, and I want to share something that I had to learn, and I'm still learning. And I believe that if I would have known this sooner, that I would have been able to show more grace to other people and to myself. And that what I want to share is that your healing can inadvertently trigger other people. Your healing, your personal healing, addressing issues, implementing boundaries can trigger other people. And sometimes when someone is triggered and they're unaware of it, they react, they lash out, they're very blameful. And it can be, if you're unaware that this is happening, it's easy to internalize it, that you did or said something wrong to them. And the reason I'm sharing this because when I trigger a lot of people. I've come to accept it, and as I learn more about myself and my own triggers and how to respond and not react and be aware of it, I'm able to show more grace when my healing is triggering to other people. And the reason your healing may trigger others is because it's touching something in them, in their subconscious mind, that needs healing, or it needs to be addressed, or it's touching an insecurity within them. And this started happening early in my healing journey, and it first began to happen within a romantic relationship and partnership. And the same person that was really good at pointing out areas that I needed to grow in and areas that I needed to heal in, when I began to heal those places and boundaries began to develop from those places, they were triggered. And they would say things like that I was judging them. And I was so confused because every action and everything that I was saying was directed towards myself. It was never directed towards someone else. It was never directed towards them. But they would say I was judging them, and because I actually wasn't judging them, it was hard to navigate. It was hard to change my behavior because there was no judgment in what I was doing. But what I was unaware of was that it was simply something unhealed within them that my healing was triggering and attempting to bring to their attention. But the pattern that happens when we're triggered is that, and we're unaware of it, is that we automatically blame the other person. There's no accountability. There's no acknowledgement that, hey, I think I'm triggered, because they're simply unaware. It's not a malicious thing. It's just a lack of awareness. And being unaware is not something that needs to be punished. So with that being said, don't internalize someone's response. So I'll give you another example that's not romantic or in partnership, and was actually with basically a complete stranger. So there was someone that I was following on social media, and I liked their posts. They seemed quirky and odd, like me. I'm a little quirky, I'm a little odd. I appreciated their content. I appreciated what appeared to be vulnerability. And we seemed on the surface to have a lot of things in common. They were an artist, I'm an artist. They had dogs. I had a little dog at the time. Rest in peace to Sweetie. So I sent them a DM and I said, I'm paraphrasing myself, I said something along the lines of, I think you and your dog are so cute. I have a crush on you and your dog. I like your posts. I like what I like, and I like the fact that you're quirky. I just wanted to let you know that. That sums up what I said. Very harmless from my perspective. It was cutesy. I was being cute and kind of lighthearted and playful. And they obliterated me in their response. They basically told me I was this horrible, misogynistic, gross person, and I was shaking, like literally shaking, because I was so confused from their response. And my initial reaction was to dissect what I said, to try to understand their perspective. And well, maybe because I said I like what I like, and they maybe misinterpreted that. And I'm a very literal person, so me saying I like what I like is basically saying I know myself and I like what you're sharing, and no person could change that. That's what I meant by it. But clearly they interpret it in a different way, and I was dissecting me saying that I had a crush on them and their dog. It was like, well, maybe that was offensive. And I was like, well, who has a crush on a dog? What person has a crush on a dog? Like, I don't date dogs. So that was a joke. And so I instinctually apologized and unfollowed them, because I didn't want them to feel uncomfortable. And also, confusion is devil energy. And the fact that this created so much confusion for me, I was like, I don't know this person. And this is clear. So I should unfollow them. I apologize and I unfollow them. And after some reflecting on it, I realized that there's something in that's however they interpreted what I sent, that was very triggering to them. And I realized that it actually had nothing to do with me or what I said. That my presentation, my presence, triggered them. And it was not something for me to internalize, because my initial response was to internalize it as I had done something horribly wrong, and I needed to reflect on it. So that happened, and I was able to move through it and recognize that I had triggered them. So recently, another situation happened, and the person was triggered by something that I had said. And I was so aware and present that I was able to show them a level of compassion without internalizing it and compromising my beliefs and what I stand for. And I realized that, a lot of people that are healing are probably going through this because you're around people that are not healed or not in the healing process. They're unaware that they're walking around with a loaded gun, because that's what triggers are. It's a loaded gun. And at any minute, somebody could pull that trigger and you get blown away. So I want to encourage you to recognize that your healing journey may trigger some people, and that's okay. Pray for them, wish them healing, offer as much compassion as you can, but do not internalize it that you have to do something differently or you have to change your boundaries. Because at the end of the day, it is their responsibility to not walk around blowing people to smithereens. It is their responsibility to reflect and look within themselves to see where they may need to heal. Don't expect people to come back after they've dumped their trauma on you and reacted from being triggered. Do not expect these people to come back and to have this epiphany and apologize. Don't look for that. Just give them kindness, wish them well, give yourself grace, give them grace, and move forward. That's it. Take care.